Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're tuning in from. Welcome to SafePal Monthly AMA. I'm Ash, your host today. As always, we are joined by Veronica, CEO of SafePal, who's here to share the latest upgrades and insights. Great to have you with us, Veronica.
Hello, Ash. Hello, everyone from every single corner of the world. Good to be here again. It's that time of the month, and it's good to be here to share some updates and talk about some news and exciting stuff happening in SafePal communities.
Perfect. So yeah, just like last time, we'll start things off by some quick security and scam alerts. Those are essential reminders to help you stay safe in Web3. And then we'll jump into this month's SafePal highlights, where Veronica and I will share the latest updates, demo some upgrades, and share some good news with you guys. Then I will share the Give Now link and the QR for everyone to join the Telegram group. I believe that's why a lot of people will joining us here. The Give Now link will be shared at the end of the session after you guys answer the question given by our guest, Umy. And family, of course, will save the best for last. We are joined by two incredible guests, Smokey the Bera from Berachain and Yakul from Umy.com. They will share fresh insights and exciting updates with all you guys. Big thanks to Smokey and Yakul for being here. So without further ado, let's quickly get started with our first section, security and scam alert.
Okay.
Well, May has been another intense month in Web3 with several high profile incidents reminding us how important security is for everyone in space. So we'll run through a few biggest stories, and I'd love to hear Veronica's thoughts on each, especially what the SafePal community can take away from them. First up,
First,
sorry? Yeah,
yep,
shall
go ahead.
we? Okay. So first up, the first news is Tron, DAO, and Curve Finance were both affected by an X platform hack, with around 45,000 hacked in loss reported. Veronica, how should users stay protected here?
So today's, I think, multiple security alerts and hacking cases that we are talking about are about social engineering. Actually, not just about these Tron DAO X, but also the one on
Mm,
the right hand side about Ledger, like Discord channel getting hacked because of one of their moderators' accounts got compromised. It's also associated like same similar kind of attack mechanism also happened to other two projects, which are going to mention on the second slide. So like all of these cases are related to social engineering, which means that people the scammers technically they don't take money directly out of you. Instead, they scam the information. They try to cheat it, and they try to steal the information out of your hands so that they can get access to your accounts. They can post false information. They can, let's say, like issue a fake token after they take control of a project's kind of accounts. They can log into your Google accounts and then have some further access to your wallet. For example, if you have a C-phrase stored in the Google Drive, whatnot. So this is so-called social engineering. It means that technically the scammer didn't take the money directly out of it, but you are leaking the information to let them being able to access to where you store the money. So that is something that we are frequently seeing in the recent months. So these DAO X hacks, obviously, it's also about social engineering. It's like they are losing the control of the X account. And it seems that this is not the singular case that we are seeing in the last month. There are two other,
mhm.
like Ashley can
Yeah,
switch to another slides that like which are also similar. That
yeah.
like for example like this ZK Sync hacker kind of took control of the X account of ZK Sync and post a fake SEB probe message to crash token, and then some scammers use the same way but to boost a token and then have the take the winning and profits from the secondary market. So technically they are not really taking money directly out of your pocket, but they are
Mhm.
manipulating the market so that like they take gains and profits out of the market move. So that is something that we have been frequently seeing. And also like the Coinbase breach actually kind of push these to another extreme situation that is like a lot of users kind of your information got leaked on the dark side, on the dark net. So even from our side, we have received a couple of Coinbase related kind of fake customer support scam cases from users, which people claim that they were reached out by Coinbase saying that their Coinbase is going to compensate them based on their wallet value, and they need to open up their SafePal accounts to get verified and link their accounts to the so-called URL. So things like that. So we have received multiple cases and reports like that. Unfortunately, some users fell for the scam and lost the money stored in that account. So that is very typical of social engineering that we are seeing every day. So from our side, we've been monitoring these, and we try to take all of these fake URL and malicious dApps off from our dApp store. And we've been actively browsing and searching these kind of social engineering scams online, from YouTube, from Twitter, from all kinds of sources, and try to block all those possible malicious dApps that people could be scammed out of the money. So this is something that we have been closely monitoring. And like it's kind of unfortunate to see these becoming widespread in the industry. And it also means that like people would need to pay more attention regarding their social accounts management. Like make sure that you open up the 2FA, make sure that you have set up a complex password, and ideally you can from time to time change this password. And also be aware when you are clicking any link that you're not familiar or you're not sure with, especially pay attention to the domain. And maybe do a double check to make sure whether you are visiting a legitimate domain, or is it more like a fake or a copycat kind of domain or website of the project. So there should be some kind of basic due diligence kind of action taken before you visit any website or click on any link or even connect your wallet to anywhere. So a couple months back, there's another type of scam that looks pretty real. I also received a couple from my personal email. That is, I received a DocuSign. Like for example, as a company CEO, I would have to sign legal documents. I've signed a contract agreement from time to time, since we've been working with a lot of partners, and there will be some contracts and agreements that I need to sign. And like I noticed that I received several scam emails that look exactly like a DocuSign email. So it says that, oh, there's a partner name, like the email title looks exactly normal, except that the sender is using a kind of a virtual sender instead of a legit sender. And then the content, the email format looks exactly like a DocuSign format. It says like somebody has prepared a doc for you for the review, and here's a review document button. Once you click on that button, you'll be redirected to a new web page. Surprisingly, that page looks exactly the same like the Google social login page. It asks you to log in your Google handle, your Google social login, so that you can log into not the so-called DocuSign. And the moment if you enter the Google account and credential into it, you're gonna lose the account, and then it would be a disaster if you ever have other accounts associated with that Google handle. So like I almost fell for it until I noticed something weird on the domain side. So I didn't fall for it. So this is obviously a very sophisticated, and the scammer took every single kind of detail into copycatting the whole Google's login page, and also the DocuSign design. Everything looks very authentic. And if you happen to have a contract that you have to sign that day, you could easily fall for it because you thought that is a contract that you need to sign. And you could easily key in the Google credential just to log in and sign the contract. So this is something that people also could experience. So social engineering is everywhere. It's kind of invading our lives, not just in crypto cycle, but also in our normal internet life. So this is not a new type of attacks. It's like quite like obvious and quite trending and popular ever since internet came to our lives. So I do feel that like since in Web3 this could become more serious, since it's more related to our asset holding, it's more than just stealing the personal information. It's about really stealing the money out of the digital assets, your wallet. So I do feel that people should pay extra attention to that one. So very unfortunate to see this case kind of happening.
Yeah, just want to add another point. As a social manager, recently I spot there are like an increased amount of comments, scammers in the comments, redirecting you to like another an analyst that has really good record or promise that they can like retrieve your loss of found. Just don't believe in any of those comments. We cannot control it happen, but what we can do is just to let you know like what is a safe way to reach out to us, and how can we will definitely just use the official channel, and we'll definitely have the dedicated team member to help you to do whatever we could do. Yeah. And then just to move on, Veronica just mentioned that there's a document sign are created by the scammer. They're actually a really detailed thread from a Globe Plus Security earlier this month, but this time scammers are posting some fake AML checkers to trick the users. Veronica, do you want to just walk us through what happened there?
Yeah, this is actually another type of social engineering. Since now that we are seeing loopholes of customer data in the industry, like all over places, especially we've experienced several data breaches from exchanges like this, like Jack mentioned here, like Coinbase, Binance, Gemini, Bitpanda, like they all suffer from data leaks. So that means we are seeing the loophole of customer data in the industry all over places. So that means we could become the easy targets for these scams. So this is actually another kind of social engineering plus fake dApp connecting and draining the wallet kind of scam, like both combined. So it firstly, scammer might reach out to you saying that, hey, there's a cool tool, like very convenient, that can kind of testify whether your funds holding in the wallet is kind of associated with money laundering. And there's a very cool AML tool that you can verify your funds, and then you can get a green check, so-called, or you can get yourself verified so that you don't need to worry whether the funds in your wallet are malicious or regulators are going to chase after it, or you're going to get yourself into trouble. And then the moment that you fall for it, the scammer will give you a link saying that, hey, you just need to connect the wallet to this link, and then we are going to run through the auto test on the link, and then your funds will be verified. Like, so that is as that simple. So if you fall for that link and then you open up, let's say in the SafePal wallet, you try to connect your wallet to it, it's actually in the back end giving the authorization of your whole wallet. Like it allows the scammer to drain the wallet like out of every penny. So this is a combine of social engineering plus kind of malicious steps. So if you ever see these kind of scams happening, something that you can take action is that feel free to send over the link scammers are giving to you, so that we can block that link from our wallet and protect other users. And we really welcome every single one of you to contribute these evidence, to contribute these kind of malicious links, so we can actively block them and kind of protect the users from falling for it. So we have this blacklisting mechanism like more than a year ago. So it's been functioning pretty well. And every single day we kind of add that database on top and renew it, and then ban the malicious apps that we discover. So we do have full-time member working on that one, and then scanning the malicious apps and fake accounts, etc., and taking the reports against them. So this is something that we have noticed, and we also share with GoPlus. So GoPlus was generous enough to dig more technical details out of it to explain and walk us through what exactly happened in the process. So I think this is a good case, and I don't think this will be the last case. I think scammers would always have another kind of scams that would persuade you or trick you into signing the wallet authorization out of it. So just make sure that you don't easily connect your wallet to any dApps that you didn't verify, or you didn't double check, or you didn't even from somebody that you're familiar with, because we also hear that like people receive this kind of link from friends. So it means that there's no exemption when it comes to social engineering. It could be as close as your friends next to your door. It could be as far as somebody on the other side of the world. So social engineering could happen at any corner at any possible moment. So that's a strong alert for all of us, especially when we are in an age of the kind of leaking customer data, like in the industry, like not just in Web3, but overall in the internet, like every single where of the corner.
Thanks so much for sharing, Veronica. Unfortunately, the scammers are becoming more sophisticated and hard to deal with. And then finally, In a much larger case, the Cetus protocol on saw a massive 220 million hack, but the validator were able to freeze a large chunk of the stolen funds. What's your take on this? That's a really huge number.
Yeah, that's huge, and it's kind of, it began with a positive side of thing, but later on fell into the concern and doubt against the SWE validators kind of network. Like, how come, like, it's good for victims that like these funds can be retrieved in such a short time, they can be frozen, and then we can take immediate action. But on the other hand, people are also challenging that, like, this also means that SWE is a so-called centralized network. Like, so this is actually happening, the same similar discussion or controversial discussion also happened to not just SWE, but also to let's say Solana, BNB chains, and a lot others as well. That is like how you are pursuing ultimate security visas like high efficiency. Like Vitalik mentioned that there's an impossible triangle in the blockchain technology, and two of them are security and efficiency. So this is indeed a kind of a very tricky balance to reach. And it's hard to say which side we should take. But for my personal point of view, I'm more a pragmatic kind of person. I'm more like a practical person. I do feel that a network or design that is set to be able to resolve the problem would be the best one. So there would be a balance and middle weight and trade-off on both ends regarding security and efficiency. And I think it still takes time to evolve. But for this kind of sweet situation, I think, I mean, good side of it is like the funds get to be retrieved and frozen. When it comes to the blockchain network, I don't think this is the sole problem for SUI. It's also happening to other blockchains. And so far for the status quo, there's no perfect solution for the architect design between security and efficiency. Like, we are seeing kind of a layer ones or layer twos kind of taking trade-offs and choosing their balance points and finding the balancing points between the two sides of the scale. So yeah, so that's indeed controversial, but they're like positively, like the money got frozen and then like can be retrieved back positively. So like, yeah, that is kind of controversial, and I think it takes time for the blockchain infrastructure to evolve into a better balance and better combination between the elements of security and efficiency.
That's a really good point. Thanks, Veronica. And in light of all the recent security incident, it's more important than ever to remind everyone again the correct and secure way to contact us if you need any help. So if you ever need assistance, just head to safepal.com/setmap and click on Contact Customer Support. That's the only official support channel, and it's safe, it's private, and fully secure. So once your ticket is submitted, someone from our support team will reach for shortly. And also remember, SafePal team member will never ask you to DM them directly or fill out any Google forms. To just stay alert and stay secure, I would always go through the official channel.
Yeah, exactly. And good news is that we are also developing the new customer support system that you can access from the SafePal app. So this would save some further efforts of you going to the website and then trying to find where is the right way to filling the support form. So right now, the product team is developing a new user flow in the SafePal app that you can easily talk to our customer agents right from the app. And it also makes it easier for us to get information that we need to resolve and locate the problem. Let's say if you want to report a swap issue, and then from the app, we should be able to quickly have some shortcuts for you to select which order you are trying to talk about, and what kind of issue you are trying to report here. So we are trying to build a more engaging and also more private focus kind of customer support channel right from the SafePal app, so that for whoever that are using the wallet will be able to talk to us directly without even visiting any website or visiting any kind of community. So that is something that we've been building with, and we keep it posted when it's live. But before that, like, feel free to visit our website, safepal.com. Two ways. You can either visit this site map. It has everything about SafePal there. Either you can go to safepal.com, scroll to the button, you can find a submit a ticket. So like these are the ways that you can find like how to talk to us for now. But we are always looking to provide a better and more comprehensive and more private and secure connection channels to talk to the clients and customers. So
Yeah.
hopefully we'll bring that system live soon.
Yeah, that's the SafePal team, always dedicated to improve customers' experience and offer better service. Yeah, I think now that we cover all the risk, let's talk about some fun parts. Everything SafePal achieved this meeting. A lot has happened, so maybe let's just run through some highlights with Veronica. First up, we have a lot of exciting upgrades on SafePal Wallet Suite as usual. So, Veronica, do you want to walk us through the key upgrade this month? For example, like the hot tap and swap and some P&L tracking and address book. I will just quickly add you to the stage.
Yeah. So so we are looking at our my test wallet. So this is my personal test wallet. There are a couple of new features that we're looking at this month. So first, we added a P&L for on a daily basis. I'm sorry, like this progress making a bit slow here compared to what we expected. But based on the data that we can crawl off, currently we can offer like daily P&L data based on the real market data. And the team is kind of working to expand it into like weekly, monthly, and year-to-year data. But that is kind of another massive kind of data crawling and comparing and calculating. So that might take us a bit longer, but this is at least a good start. We also received several feedback from the community asking like, can we have a customized date kind of selection so I can compare back to back from like, for example, like say today and the same day last month and then the month before. So for that one, we are also taking into considerations and to see that how to build that in. But it's actually a good start, and we can continue building from there. The other one I think would be when you go to swap page. So right now, this is the swap page that we're looking at. If you're looking for a new token that you want to swap, there's a hot tab here that you can easily notice and find in real time in the SafePal app what other users are trading. So you can see, like for example, for the top trading here, like BTC is actually among the top trading, ETH, like SAP tokens, and also XRP and SOL. We also have top gainers, so you can see like what tokens they are buying that offer this kind of top gainer and the trading ones. So there are a lot more that you can click on and you can view more. So this could be a very interesting tool for those who want to capture the market sentiments and also make a swift actions regarding the secondary market. So could be a quite useful tool. While the last one that we released this month is that a pretty interesting small feature and quite convenient. It's not a major update, but it's like making the feature easier to use from day to day. So when you go to bank, you want to transfer money to other people, let's say to peer, there's an address book. So right now you can add address book as like my contact. So you can add my contact here regarding like the name, the account ID. The account ID is a Fiat24 account ID. So you can ask the ID from your friends and then you can confirm and add it here. And then once you have that, you can easily check the my contact book and then you can enter the information. So this is a pretty convenient kind of feature that, especially if you are transferring money across the Fiat24 platform, and we are going to make it like kind of easier to use as like as time goes by. So these are some of the major features that we are like going through. And on top of that, we also have new chain supported. So this month we have supported Filecoin. So if you want to add Filecoin, since like SafePal display whatever token that you have balance here, if you want to add Filecoin, let's say into your asset list, you can actually serve here in File, and then you can toggle it on. Then you should be able to see Filecoin right from the wallet and then manage it from there. And in the same time, we also support Filecoin from the swap. So also same here, if you enter File, you can find Filecoin and then you can find the available service provider for, let's say, from Ethereum to File. So like we have supported full set of the Filecoin assets in swap and in wallets and in dApp store as well. So this is another new chain that we have supported. So till now we have already supported more than 200 blockchains and every single one token on top of it. So tokens like hundreds and thousands and a couple thousands more than that. So that is quite a lot. So token and chains that we have supported already. And there's another thing that I would like to share with the community. That is a lot of users have been asking for Cardano and Casper chain support over the last couple of years. And we are not able to make it on S1 and S1 Pro because of the chipset architect doesn't support the cryptography kind of design of these two currencies. But after the EAL6 Plus chipset upgrades on the S1 and S1 Pro, we can finally support the Cardano and Casper networks in the new model. So if you go to the SafePal blog, you can find the latest blog from our website talking about the security chipset upgrades. And this allows us to support the Cardano and Casper network. So for those of you who want to have the chain support, I'm afraid you would have to go and get a new model from the website, or if you are not sure whether your model is the new or old one, feel free to submit a ticket to us, and our customer support member would be able to tell you based on the SN number whether it's a new or old model. If you need any further assistance on adding the chains, feel free to also talk to us through customer support. So that is something that we would be continuously working on. I think another good news is that we supported the USDT on Kaya. I think Kaya recently has been quite kind of catching everyone's eyeballs, and they recently have USDT introduced to the Kaya network. So we can also easily find Kaya here, and I can even search by chain. Like I want to search the USDT on Kaya, and there it is. You can click add, and then add this token into your wallet balance as well. So it's pretty convenient and straightforward. So you can then see it right from it from Kaya. This is the wallet. So these are some of the major updates that we are seeing for the May, and a bit of forecast of June. There will be a few interesting things. The first thing is about we are going to improve the onboarding flow for new users who don't have a gas. I guess for those who are familiar with us, you know that we have a gas station here. It's right here. So gas station, you can actually buy gas using either SFP token or here, or you can choose other kind of way, stablecoin. Let's say if you get stablecoin from your friends, because usually people on ramp to the crypto, the first stop would be stablecoin, USDT or USDC. So most of the brand new users, they could start with stablecoin or SFP as a gift, maybe from their friends and from SafePal platform. But we are trying to have in-app purchases for this one. So it means that if you don't have any sort of cryptocurrency for start, but you want to make a transfer from for Ethereum network, you need ETH as a gas. You can, with the new version update, you are able to do so by in-app purchases. That means you can use Apple Pay to pay for that one. So this is pretty convenient. This is actually ultimately changing the user experience for that one. So this is a pretty interesting one. And so some forecast on this one. And also we are also trying to do another thing to save your hassle of the gas experience. That is, we are going to have the Tron energy rental live very soon. That means we are able to kind of subsidize the Tron TRX kind of gas token on the Tron network, so that it's easier for you. You don't need to think about a gas. We just process it in the backend automatically based on the energy rental. So this is another thing that we are going to forecast for June as well. A couple of others as well, but I would like to keep it as a mystery, and we'll soon be able to find out. So definitely looking forward to that. And the team has been keeping very close, fast pace of releasing new version updates every 2 weeks. So I'm very proud that the dev team managed to keep the fast pace with that among the ever-changing Web3 landscape. So definitely stay tuned, follow us on Twitter, and join our community so that you become the first batch of users who get noted by the latest version update. Yeah, Ashley, I will hand it back to you. So these are some of the sharing from my end about the product side.
Sure. Maybe the rest updates we can just share with the community in next month's call.
Yes. Don't want to use too much of the materials already.
We still need some good things to share next month. Yeah. So we covered the first 3 upgrades.
Yeah.
So next good news is we partner with the Ton Foundation and spoke at the Ton Builders Day in Shenzhen. Veronica also spoke at the Ton Nest workshop, sharing a lot of experience and industry insight. So Veronica, how did this collaboration come from, and what were some highlights you want to share?
Sure. I think we've been working with Ton very closely since ever since it went live. Like we were the earliest wallet supporting it. Last year, we have a lot of exciting and warm memories with the Tong builders and Tong ecosystem and foundation. And this year we continue to back and support the Tong ecosystem growth. So like the Tong Nest ecosystem kind of events, and also like giving these webinars, sharing our journey of growing and giving tips to other Tong builders regarding how to scale, are just part of the story that we are opening up for this year of chapter between SafePal and Tong. So it's kind of very exciting to talk to all of these builders, a lot of young faces even. They ask questions about like how to make sure that you have the perfect market fit with your product, how to scale, what is the fastest way to scale, what are the tips and walk away for KOL collaborations. And in the offline Shenzhen events, our team also had a direct contact with all of these Tong builders and people who are interested in the ecosystem, and gather a lot of interesting threads of people who want to work with us, or some curious questions regarding SafePal and how they grow into such a big brand. So overall, it's pretty exciting. It's always a good way and good thing to talk to these builders, and they represent hope. They represent the future of the ecosystem. So it's always inspiring to talk to these people. I think happening in June, I'm gonna attend another kind of webinar from the Solana ecosystem, but stay tuned for that one. I think it's happening in 1-2 weeks. We're still at the final prep for that one. So looking forward, and we'll keep up the good word. Oh, I saw some questions from the comment section, like one from YouTube. Like there's an amazing shorts asking, is there any rewards for early joiners? Amazing shorts, I'm not sure which part of you. I've been talking about a lot of different things. I'm not sure which part of you that you're asking. But social media wise, we always have a lot of. And thank you, like already following SafePal and Veronica on Twitter. Thank you so much, amazing shorts. I really appreciate that. That's really warm to hear. So I'm not sure which part you're asking, but we do have regular campaigns. We just had a Pizza Day celebration, so I'm not sure whether you joined that. That's kind of a lot of fun. Actually, it's going to talk about that. Yeah, right here. So they always kind of launch some interesting and engaging and funny kind of campaign with to celebrate every single moment that we get to stay with you, our dear users. So if you like, feel free to stay tuned on our Twitter and in community. Like we would love to keep you posted on any campaigns. I also saw another question regarding like Ankit Mashwani asking like Veronica, when is the Give Now withdrawal gonna be live? Okay, thank you so much for asking. Like firstly, good thing is that we're gonna have Give Now lucky draw today, so make sure that you join the group chat like to participate in that one. Second is that the withdrawal function already work in process, so it should be live in the upcoming version updates. I'm not sure which one, but it's already in pipeline, so definitely we'll keep you posted on that one. And I'm sure when this feature goes live, you're gonna receive notification right from the gift. And any other? Yeah, I think that's all. Like we can go ahead, Ashley. Just dropping by to answer this question.
Yeah, I just jump into the next slide. So May is the month of Bitcoin Pizza Day. We had a great celebration with thousands of friends joining, and we got 10 lucky winners. Got their $20 for a slice of pizza. I don't know if those 10 people are here watching us live, but in case some people audience didn't know about the day, Veronica, do you want to share the story behind the Bitcoin Pizza Day?
Well, this is a milestone of an actual Bitcoin utility in real life. That is a man.
Especially this May.
2010, like kind of 15 years ago, bought 2 pieces of pizza with 10,000 Bitcoin. So this is actually the first ever real world use cases for cryptocurrency. So this is actually the big milestone. So nowadays, like people can buy Tesla, they can buy real estate using Bitcoin. They can trade like Bitcoin ETF from like licensed financial institutions and trading platforms. Like this, like we've been through a lot. So like 15 years kind of changed everything. Previously, people working in the crypto industry were called scammers, were called kind of gold diggers. But nowadays, like these are legit builders who come from all genres of the industries, from internet, from finance, from banking, like all kinds of and in all corners of the world to build together. And we're going to have a huge innovation wave coming next, now that like the SEC recognize the cryptocurrency and recognize the legitimacy of the blockchain technology. So this is indeed very exciting. It's also very like magical to see that like in 15 years things could change so much. Like it's like definitely nothing like internet. It's like much faster pace than that one. So I'm so proud that we are in the industry. I'm so proud that
Mm,
that I'm be building in the space for 7 years. I'm so excited, and every single day I still feel excited because there are so many new things to catch up with. You never get bored. So as a builder, I always feel excited and proud to be part of it. And I do believe that this could be my life career that I can build until the day I die. So I really I really thank and be grateful and thank
mm,
like everyone who's been supporting us along the way. And
yeah.
there's so much more to happen in crypto space, in blockchain ecosystem. You never know what will happen tomorrow. So like it's always exciting. It's always kind of never getting
Mm,
bored. So it's yeah, kind of the best part of cryptocurrency and blockchain journey so far.
mm. Think
Yeah,
about it.
I
It's
saw Jack saying
one
that. I saw
point
Jack,
one billion dollars, right? For
like,
for two pieces.
Jack was like, I saw Jack saying that now you get 20,000 pieces of pizza for two
Yeah,
Bitcoin.
20.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Well,
Okay.
that
Thanks
is
again for everyone joining our celebration, and just stick with our social, and there will be more campaign and more events coming. And also congrats to all the winners. Awesome. I think that pretty much wraps us all the update from SafePal. It's been really great hearing your thoughts. Thanks for joining us, Veronica. And before we move on to the guest session, I'd like to give a quick shout out to the Give Now bot. It's a really powerful tool used by many projects, including us, to run giveaways, raffles, and lucky draws for community events like this AMA. So if you want a chance to win a share of this $2,100 prize pool, just scan the QR code and join the group. I will just leave here for a few seconds, and we'll drop the link after the Q&A session at this end of the AMA. So stay tuned. And the answer to the question will be hiding in our special guest session. Okay.
yeah, very exciting and very today's guest very special. Yeah, I will leave the
Mm,
stage to you. Thank you, Ashley, and looking
Thank
forward
you
to
so
talking
much,
to you again.
Veronica, for joining us.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Let's move on. We are thrilled to have two amazing guests joining us today to share their projects and some fresh insights. And to kick off our to give off the guest AMA, our first guest will be Berachain. It's a high performance EVM identical layer one blockchain utilizing proof of liquidity and built on top of the modular EVM focused consensus client framework Bitcoin Kit. So representing Berachain, we have Smokey, the co-founder and CEO of Berachain. Could you share a little more about your role and Berachain as well?
Yeah, for sure. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Wonderful. Yeah, thanks for having me here, Ash. It's cool to learn more about what you guys are up to. I think, in a nutshell, Smokey over here, as you've noted, co-founder and CEO of Berachain. I spend most of my time trying to think about all the different parts of the organization, but perhaps a lot more nowadays on growth, on the ecosystem, on what it looks like to give people the user experience that they're looking for and the applications that they're looking for as you explore a new chain. A super high level on Berachain, which I guess I'd probably go over the next couple of slides, is effectively
Mhm.
that Berachain itself is a chain that's I'd say meant to be focused on the users and the applications. Ash, is it best for me to just like go off the slides? Is it best for me to just riff live? What's most preferable?
Well, it depends on you. If you want to, maybe
Sure.
jump I will
Yeah,
just
yeah,
wait.
sure thing. Yeah, no. We can just go right into it. The way I stated that, I guess the whole thesis for Berachain, and the
Mhm.
idea at a high level is that, most blockchains are proof of stake chains nowadays, right? We started with proof of work, and then over time we're like, okay, there's a way to make this a little bit more efficient. Let's do proof of stake. And I think that, the the biggest thing that we've considered when it comes to examining proof of stake systems is that they're great at incentivizing someone to hold a token and to
Mhm.
effectively invest in the status quo, if you will. But more than anything else, I think it's also become more and more evident over time. The chains really do win as I guess as a function of their user bases and the applications and the groups that choose to build on top of them. And I think that more and more and more, with a couple of exceptions, um, the vast majority of chains are not necessarily offering users and or application builders a meaningfully different experience, right? I think we're sort of converging to a world where it's like, okay, the chain is relatively fast, gas is relatively cheap. This is almost like table stakes now, right? And Berachain's belief is that those block rewards and those emissions that are, effectively a natural cost or a necessity for the L1 to sustain should actually go towards investing in the ecosystem and investing in the application layer building on top of the chain. And that the best way to win as a network over time, or to build something that actually ends up onboarding a whole bunch of users, a whole bunch of capital, whatever it might be, is by making sure that you have the most robust application layer possible and allowing those applications to excel when it comes to their distribution, their revenue potential, everything in between. And that's sort of the thesis for Berachain in a nutshell, which is to say that what proof of liquidity does above all else is it takes the resources and or the chain's native block rewards that typically just go to stakers of the native token, and it goes to users of the applications.
Interesting. Thank you so much for sharing. Do you want to maybe jump into another slide, or
yeah, I was going to say I can just walk through the rest of it, right? I can. Sorry, I don't control the slides.
Maybe we can just go through the slides, and then we have some questions for you, or maybe you already answered it.
All good. I'll go through the really high level tech stack for Berachain because some people are familiar, some people less so. Everyone seems to assume the chains that were launched in the last year or so are L2s. We are not. Berachain's a layer 1 blockchain. It is fully EVM identical, and that's a little bit different from EVM compatible that I'm sure you guys might have heard of in many cases. EVM compatible is great, and it means the majority of the things are the same, and in most cases you can deploy Solidity contracts, etc. But the difference when a chain, in our case, is EVM identical, is that it's actually one-to-one with Ethereum's execution environment / execution clients, which means that whether it's the EIPs, the opcodes, the gas logic, everything in between is identical to how it is on the Ethereum layer 1 itself. So that ends up being quite nice because it means that when builders want to, take an application that perhaps they're prototyping on another chain or use tools that they were familiar with using on ETH mainnet, they really don't have to reinvent the wheel when it comes to supporting that on Berachain. All the familiar infrastructure is there for them to work with, whether that is, RPCs, service providers, I'd say various data firms, everything in between. The nice part is as well, we use Comet BFT under the hood that allows us to have single slot finality and also does a fair bit of work in terms of improving that performance. So instead of the 12-second blocks that we're used to on ETH mainnet, Berachain's a lot closer to 2-second block times, sometimes a little bit lower depending on the day. So that's also been quite good to us. And then I guess moving on to the next slide, the way that I was sort of mentioning earlier is that typically you have a proof of stake system where the majority of value is being captured by the validator set from the chain's native emissions, that is, right? And sometimes you have delegated proof of stake where users are basically able to stake with that validator directly and then earn a portion of those rewards as well. And the value effectively flows from the chain validators to the chain validators and occasionally outwards and out of the system. In the case of proof of liquidity, it's effectively the chain's emissions coming from the validator set to the users through the dApps, right? So validators point block rewards or emissions that go to different applications. Users who use those applications end up being the ultimate recipient of block rewards. So I hope that makes sense. The whole ideal for Berachain is, can we use the native export of the chain to invest in liquidity and activity at the network level itself? And so far, I think that while there's definitely things that we can improve on in terms of the efficiency and sort of the spend of that network, it also means that Berachain's proof of liquidity emissions are helping to underwrite close to $1 billion of capital at the moment, and tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions at times, of volume. So we see it as an experiment that is trending in the right direction, but of course has room for improvement and room for tightening over time.
I think you already answered my first question. It was, how do you see proof of liquidity fundamentally change blockchain? So, well, I think that's make Berachain position as very, special or just stand out from other layer 1, right?
I hope so. I think that
well, you should have some trust, right?
Indeed, right? I think the biggest thing is I think the pitch to an application that's building on Berachain is hey, this is really the only ecosystem where perhaps other chains will have grant programs or something like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's not the the school of thought that we really subscribe to. But more than anything else, Berachain is a bet that the chain is there and the chain's willing to spend on supporting its applications. And that's not just like that's not just like a very tiny set. It's that there's, basically dozens of different applications on the chain that are actually able to tap into this at the moment, right? So I think that it's something that we've hopefully used to do as much as we can to help support and grow the ecosystem.
Okay, great. Thanks so much for sharing. I think that pretty explains why Berachain is a chain where the bears are actually bullish. So yeah. So now just for our second question. So we all know that you guys just had the TGE. Really, congrats! Really, congrats on that. And
Thank
it
you.
must be one of the greatest milestone of Bera, right? So are there any key consideration behind Bera tokenomics design, and what benefits does it bring to the ecosystem or the community?
Yeah, I mean, I think that when we look at the Bera token itself, it's interesting because Berachain has a bit of a more complex tokenomic system, right? In that there's Bera and BGT. And BGT is the emissions token, which is earned either in a small amount by staking Bera or in a larger amount by participating in proof of liquidity. So on one hand, there's lots of different ways to use your Bera on chain to earn, in liquidity pairs, in single-sided deposits, etc. And those tend to be rates that are anywhere between 20 and 100%. So lots of ways to use the token across the network. And then I think that it's also able to be used in the classic sense as gas and transaction value, right? And we think that that should be more and more valuable, hopefully over time, as we also think about some modifications to the execution client that would likely increase that gas cost. One of the issues that we actually run into right now is that since Berachain is using basically the same logic as Ethereum for gas, but it's also got much faster block times, sometimes the gas market can get congested, especially in times where there's tons of arbitrage because you both have very cheap transactions and rapidly moving prices at times, right? So in short, we see the token as a means as something that can be used within the ecosystem for value accrual, as something that can be used for network security, but actually are thinking a lot more about ways that we can actually drive more and more value to Bera over time, as opposed to BGT alone, where I'd say a lot of the value is accruing right now. Now that loop always does come full circle in a sense, because BGT can be converted to Bera at any point in time. But nonetheless, the Bera token is meant to be used actively within DeFi. It's meant to be used actively as, I'd say, a source of collateral, and it's also, of course, a source of economic security.
I see. Well, I can feel that you guys put a lot of effort into the design. It's really fresh and original. So I think it is a good sign for Bera's long-term growth. And finally, let's move on to our third question. So are there any recent update or exciting future developments on the roadmap you'd like to share with Berachain and SafePal community?
Yeah, for sure. There's actually one that happened yesterday that I think was pretty non-trivial, which is that you guys might be aware of Ethereum Pectra and sort of the update to ETH that went live. I want to say just around a month ago, give or take a little bit. We basically implemented the same update at the execution layer for Berachain yesterday. So sort of maintaining, like I mentioned, that EVM identicality with the Ethereum ecosystem. So everything from smart contract wallet / account abstraction, to better, I'd say, better infrastructure when it comes to actually handling some of the stuff around multiple calls, et cetera, et cetera. In short, I think that we were able to see a bunch of quality of life improvements as a function of VIP 7702, and also some stuff around 7002, allowing for people to now unstake on Berachain as well. A whole bunch of stuff that's a little bit more in the weeds technically in terms of BLS precompiles and that kind of stuff. But in short, we saw this as a major network upgrade. The hard fork went really smoothly. We were pretty happy to see how it went down. And yeah, I think the team has been excited because they shipped on it really quickly. They got it up and running on testnet on the same day that ETH went live, and they were able to actually put that out and make it happen. And then I'd say beyond that, there'll probably also be some updates to the tokenomics / value capture methodologies for Bera / BGT as mentioned, over the next little while that I think will also be hopefully well received by the community in terms of ways that we can actually drive more and more value to Vera passively over time.
Well, yeah, we saw a lot of like involvement on Ethereum recently, and I really hope like Vera could be like more successful in the future, and be the one of the most strong layer one in the industry. Yeah. Thanks so much for joining us, and everything you shared today is really inspiring. So before we move on, is there anything else you'd like to say to the SafePal community before we wrap up your session?
No, I think that's most of what I got. We'd love to see more and more SafePal uses on Berachain over time, and if we can ever be helpful, don't be afraid to hit us up.
Yeah, perfect. Looking forward to more collaboration in the future. Yeah. Thanks so much, Smokey, for joining us. Yeah.
Take care.
Then we'll
Bye.
jump to bye. Have a good night. Okay. So, all right. Let's move on to our next speaker. So, our next guest will be a relatively new partner, Umy, a platform offering convenient and secure cryptocurrency payment option for flights, hotels, booking, and more. And we launched a gift box campaign this month, and it was a great success. Thanks for joining us, Umy. And representing Umy is Yako BD at Umy. So just to confirm before we start, is my pronunciation correct? Yako, right?
Hello, Huaco. Yeah, Huaco is good.
Huaco, okay. Okay, nice to meet you,
Yeah.
Huaco. Sorry
Nice
for
to meet
my
you too.
mispronunciation.
It's okay, it's fine. It's
Okay.
normal.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Could you share a little bit about your role and Umy as well?
Sure. So
And
first of all,
just feel
thank
free
you.
to let me know if you want to, let me to move on to next slide and such.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, if you can help me on that, it'll be awesome. So first of all, thank you. It's great to be here with the SafePal community today. I'm Huaco, and I've been working in the Web3 business development for about 5 years now, with a special focus on real world crypto applications. So at Umy, as you were mentioning, we're building what I believe is one of the most practical use cases for cryptocurrency, which is making your digital assets actually usable for everyday life experience. So before I would like to do an introduction, because for years we've been hearing about crypto replacing traditional finance, but how often can you actually spend it? That's a question where Umy wanted to answer. So we've created a platform where you can book over 2 million hotels worldwide and flights with 500 plus airlines, all payable with crypto. And this isn't something that is theoretical. This is working right now today. Actually, as a matter of fact, last month we had $200,000 processed in crypto bookings from users in 37 different countries. So what makes us different? I would say 3 core things. First, the speed. Your booking confirms instantly because we don't wait for the bank settlements. Second, I would say is the privacy. For small bookings under $1,000, we don't require any KYC. And third, value. By cutting out payment processors, we save travelers an average of 8% compared to traditional sites. So yeah, now we can go to the first slide.
Sure.
So what Umy is building, you guys can just go and check it out on the website. We are building this platform. Yeah. So what is the main? Yeah, it's okay. We're building the main platform for users in order to book for crypto, so you don't have to hassle and booking for hotels using like Agoda or Booking.com or Trip.com, right? We have everything in one platform. This is our main goal. So far, I'll speak about it a bit later, but we're adding a lot of user use cases inside of our app as well, like eSIM, so that people, they don't have to get out of our app and they just can everything in one app. Now we can go to the next slide. So you might be thinking, what is the main problem, right? The main problem right now is the using crypto for traveling. It's kind of broken. This is the reality. Most booking platforms, they don't accept digital payments at all. So when they do, you're forced into slow, expensive conversions. Maybe you have to wait for days to change into fiat settlements, while probably losing a lot of a big percentage in fees, from 5 to 15%, because we've seen it. Even worse, the options are limited. Need at least, if you need a last minute flight, a specific hotel chain, or too often crypto users, they can't really get what they want. So this is not just inconvenient, it's exclusionary. So travelers from markets with currency controls or unstable banking systems, they get locked out entirely. And for those who manage to book it, the process is really complex. Prepaid cards, third-party vendors, or manual invoice requests. What is the result? Crypto remains trapped in exchanges while travelers they really cannot use credit cards. But why should digital assets, which are designed for global and permissionless transactions, be harder to spend than traditional money? That's crazy. So that's a problem that we're solving. We can go to the next slide.
Mhm.
So what is our solution? I'm very happy to say that we currently have more than 35,000 users that they're using Umy. We launched last year in November. We have more than 8,000 hotels right now, 150 countries. We just crossed last month 1,000 bookings, and we did a comparison between Umy and other platforms like Agoda or Trip.com. And in some hotels, we can get even a 30% cheaper price. That is because we are not adding any money at the beginning. We just want to have as many users as possible to try out our app, so that later you can enjoy all the benefits. We have a 24/7 service inside of our Telegram group, and we also support B2B support for other Web3 platforms. For example, we're working with OKX Global so far. We're working as well with
Mhm.
Mexi, etc. So Umy, I would say, fixes this with direct crypto travel bookings, which means no conversions, no prepaid cards. And the way that we do it is that you can pay with USDT or USDC in a lot of blockchains. Then the confirmation codes are delivered in seconds, not days, like usually happens. Second, you can have real saving with stablecoin discounts that they eliminate volatility risk. And last one, I would say that we've already processed, as I mentioned, more than 200K in bookings just last month. And this is not something theoretical. As I mentioned, it's live today at umy.com, where crypto finally works for real life. So we're developing something useful. And
Mhm.
I would think that the payment ecosystem, PayFi ecosystem, this year, 2025, is going to be one of the biggest, the growing, because I see so many Web2 users coming to Web3, and what they want is real utility. So that would be everything from the Umy solution.
Hmm. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like Smokey, we also prepared a few questions for you. So first question is, so personally speaking, I really love traveling and I really love crypto, but the combination of crypto plus trading is really novel. So how did this idea come out? Like, because you sure that you saw a lot of problem like in the utility of crypto, but the idea, how did it come from?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think the biggest products out there that we have nowadays, they come from a very big pain, right, in the society,
Mm.
big problem. So I think the idea for Yuma actually came from a very personal experience. I think back in 2022, I was trying to book a business trip to Singapore, and my corporate card got blocked for suspicious
Oh.
international activity. I think many of us, we had this problem. I have plenty of crypto, but no way to use it for the booking. So at that moment, I realized, why, if I have a lot of crypto, I always need to find somebody to change the crypto
Yeah.
into, let's say, fiat, and then book it on Agoda or any of these platforms. Well, that frustration led to our founding principle. I think crypto should be as spendable as cash for real needs. So we're solving several major problems in the travel industry. First, payment friction. About 12% of the online bookings fail due to payment issues, according to the industry data. Second of all, when you have the money in your bank, it's actually not yours. So the bank can decide if you can use it or not. Usually, you never have a problem until you have one. So crypto
Yeah.
solves this with its global, always on nature. Second, the financial inclusion that I just mentioned. We have many users from countries with currency controls who can now travel freely. And the privacy, business travel especially, they appreciate not having their entire trip history tied to their credit card. But
Mm.
perhaps the most importantly, we're creating true utility, right? Last quarter, we analyzed our users and found something fascinating. About 40% of them were spending crypto they would be holding for over a year. So for the first
Wow.
time, they had something meaningful to use it for, instead of just speculation. I think that's the
Mhm.
change we want to bring to Web3.
Fascinating. Really fascinating to hear that. Yeah, maybe let's move on to our second question. So, what have been the biggest challenges in UMI's journey so far, and how do your team overcome them? Because I think creating utilities in crypto is never an easy thing.
Yeah, I think when you want to disrupt the market, it's never easy.
Mm.
Building something new, it's always complicated. But I wouldn't call it like a challenge. Probably building Yuma has been an incredible learning experience, and we've faced challenges probably at every stage. The first major challenge was establishing trust. I think we don't realize, but in the travel sector, there's a monopoly of the booking platforms, and we all know that everybody's using Agoda or everybody's using Ctrip, everybody's using, maybe in China, for example, they use Xiachen, or even
Yeah.
Agoda, Booking.com, Feiju, like all of these ones. Well, we could call it that it's probably a monopoly. There's only these companies, and they just share the market, right?
Hmm.
So establishing this trust, it was difficult when we launched our beta. People were very skeptical. Like, how do I know I'm really going to get to my hotel room if I pay with crypto? They're related to the scam, right? In crypto before they got scammed, so they think we're also a scamming company, etc. Well, we address these through three key strategies. Number one, I would say we partner with established travel distributors that everybody knows and recognizes, similar to hotel chains and airlines. Second, we implemented a transparent booking system where you get immediate confirmation codes, so you can verify directly with the hotel. Third, we started small, focusing first on destinations with crypto-friendly businesses before expanding globally. I think the regulatory compliance has been another complex area. Travel is one of the most heavily regulated industries, and crypto regulations, they're very different between countries. So our solution was just to build a hybrid model where we handle all the travel compliance on the
Hmm.
back end while giving users a simple Web3 native front end experience. It took it took a few months of legal work to get this right. And then, last but not least, there's a technical challenge of crypto volatility, right? So with that, we developed some innovative solutions like real-time price locking, multi-currency codes, and our popular stable pay feature
Hmm.
that right now is giving some coupons for bookings with stable coins.
Hmm.
These features right now, booking with stable coins is 85% of our transaction volume.
Hmm. Cool. Oh, actually, I saw like some audiences are asking question in the comment. Do you want to, if I bring them up, you? I
Yeah,
think
sure.
one of them is quite interesting. So, what travel destination are most popular among UMA UMA users? I think that will be a sign of which area is more, the penetration of crypto is higher, maybe.
Oh, you'll be surprised. Actually, the places that they've been booking the most are the Southeast Asia locations, Thailand, Indonesia, also Vietnam,
Hmm.
Malaysia. This has been the ones that we've seen an increase, probably because it's a good weather right now here, and
Hmm. Probably.
also because there has been a lot of crypto events. I would say here, for example, right now in Vietnam, they have in Da Nang they have these the Solana Summit, so we've seen a spike. But yeah, it's very related to the events in crypto.
Okay. There's another question really nice. So, in a world where trustless systems are rising, how does Umai.com build trust with travelers who still value human touch, especially when blending luxury service with crypto payments? I think that's a really good question.
Yeah, this is a very good question, and
Mm,
I think we're very used to platforms where they don't really have a human touch. That's why I
mm,
said that we always have a 24/7 service for anybody that needs a question to be solved. But to be honest, building trust in a new company, especially in the travel industry, we've realized that is very similar to when you're cutting your hair. If you're cutting your hair, unless you have a very, very bad experience, you will not change your hairdresser. Let's be honest. Same happens
mm,
with the dentist, right? So for us, people are so used to be booking everything, hotels and flights, on one platform that they're not willing to change that. And I can understand that. It's fine.
mm,
But as a Web3 user, I'm always trying to find the best solution for me. So in Umy, the only thing that we can do is to keep advertising, keep educating our final user, and also keep giving them coupons so they can be able to try Umy, and then if they like it, then they can just stay and keep booking through us.
Mm-hmm. Nice. There's another question, quite interesting. You can maybe quickly address that. So, what's the long-term mission of Umy.com beyond bookings? Are you building a decentralized travel ecosystem, or is there a bigger lifestyle vision unfolding? Well, I think
I think this
that's
is a
kind
very
of
good
my
question.
last question. Yeah, really good question.
I think this is a very good question, and thank you, Mila, for formulating this question, because in Umy we don't see only a platform where you're traveling and that's it. We want to have a platform that is a social platform that you can be able to book book a hotel, book a flight, have your eSIM ready, so that when you're traveling to one place, you don't have to be able to waste time and then just buy an eSIM in the country that you are. We're partnering up with Rome. I'll talk about it later for what's coming. We're also partnering up with an event platform similar to Klook that is going to let you find what are the best events at the place that you will be there. And we're also partnering up with the rentals for cars. So what we want at Umy is that with crypto, you will be able to do anything that you need if you're traveling from one place to another. So I think this is something different than other platforms. Let's say that you only have this app for booking hotels or booking for flights, and then you have another app for an eSIM, and then you have another app for checking the events that you can have. I don't know, in Vietnam. Let's say that I'm here right now. So in Umy, we want everything to be at the same place, so the user feels comfortable, and they can just be there, and they know that everything they need, they'll find it in Umy.
Well, really appreciate it. That sounds really exciting. Um, so before I think that basically wrap up all the questions from our audiences. Before we move on to the Q&A session, Wako, there anything else you want to share with add to the community?
Yeah, I would like to share with you what's next for us, if that's possible.
Okay. Yeah,
So
sure. Go ahead.
I wanted to let everybody know that we're very, very excited about 2025. I think it's going to be our breakout year. Our engineering team is currently working on Umy X, which is going to be called the Web3 companion. So imagine this: you have like an AI kind of friend that is it's not just a bot, right? It's somebody that helps you. You ask them questions. What is the best time to go to this place? What is the cheapest price that you can get it from? He's gonna help you. He's gonna give you all the ideas that you need. He's gonna prepare for your trip anywhere that you want, right? Is gonna gift you, I don't know, room upgrades, late checkouts, and exclusive experiences. This is going to launch very, very soon, and we're going to have it in a lot of properties. And one more thing that I wanted to mention is also our collaboration with SafePal. I think is another major focus. We have a so far we have a coupon for everybody that they want to book, and they're also SafePal members. And we'll be also in the future be launching more gift boxes for SafePal users, coupons, etc. These will include real and usable benefits like free hotel nights and flight discounts. We're especially excited because this aligns perfectly with our mission to make crypto travel accessible for everybody. So for us at Umy, looking the bigger picture, we're expanding our inventory dramatically as well. We're adding a lot of new airlines and hotels to the platform. We're also going to be having private jet flights as well, being able to be booked with crypto. We're starting from Europe. So we're also seeing huge demand in Asia, right? So we're localizing the app for Chinese, Japanese, and Korean travelers. And last thing I can say is that we will have crypto travel club where frequent users are going to earn a lot of rewards that they can later exchange for elite benefits. We will be able to give them an upgrade of the room, give them points, and then they can change these points into a discount for their booking. So yeah, that will be everything from my end.
Wow, that's really lovely. I after listening to what you said, I already want to join the club. So, yeah, I believe
Yeah.
there are a lot of travel lover in SafePal community too, and yeah, sounds really excited. And um, I believe we'll just stay tuned, and if there are any collaboration, we'll definitely let you guys know first time as soon as possible at our social. Just stay close. I think that everything from Huaco, right? And thanks. Yeah. Now
Well, thank
I
you
know
guys for having
everyone's
us.
been waiting for
I hope
this
you guys
moment,
have
right?
Yeah.
It's actually there's still like a last session for Umy's giveaway. So everyone's waiting for this moment, and thanks so much for Umy for sponsor us $200 bucks for our community. And Wako, do you want to ask the question to all the audience?
Yeah, where did the idea of the platform come from?
Interesting. If you listen closely, you definitely know what it is, right? So, for everyone joined the Telegram earlier, please type your answer in the chat, and then if we see the right answer, we'll definitely send out a gift for you guys. I think thanks Huaco again for joining us. Let's just stay close and see what will be the exciting things happen with you, Mike.
Thank you so much for having us, guys. Hope you guys have a great day.
Okay, have a good night. Bye, Michael. Have you guys sent the answer to the chat? Well, I haven't seen any answers yet. So until I see the right answer, I will send out the gift. What? Let's maybe go back to the slide earlier that if you guys haven't joined the group chat for the lucky draw, please scan the code and type your answer there. Yeah, I start to see the right answer. Why people sending India? But yeah, just for the people that really listen closely to the AMA, they will know the answer. Come on. Question. Using crypto in a real life for everyday use, and it's due to making. Yeah, that's a really good one. I think Rolo has a really great answer. So I will send you guys the lucky draw, and hope you guys using hazards, using crypto in a real life for everyday use, and it's good to make booking easier. That's a really great one. So yeah, guys, you got the right answer. So thanks for joining, guys. Thanks for joining us. That's Sigay. Once you launch a bot, you will see like which amount you will receive. So I think that's everything from today. Thanks everyone who joined us and answered the question from Umy. And a special shout out to Veronica, Smokey, and Huaco for sharing their time projects inside with the SafePal pen. So if you got a crew project you want us to team up with, just drop in comments and we are always listening. If you haven't already, make sure to download and follow SafePal social, and we'll see you next month. Until then, just stay safe and bye everyone.